If Chuck Schumer cancels Thanksgiving for millions of families across America who can't feed their children, the holiday should be canceled for the Senate as well. We should all be prepared to stay here until we reopen the government so no child will go to bed hungry because of Schumer's shutdown shenanigans.
The U.S. government faces another crisis, and one senator has had enough. Joni Ernst says Congress shouldn't celebrate Thanksgiving until the government reopens, blasting the Schumer shutdown. Welcome to Hot News Today. Subscribe for more updates on this political storm.
Mr. President.
Senator from Iowa.
Mr. President, it's day 23 of the Schumer shutdown, making this the second longest shutdown in modern history. While Senator Schumer says, quote, "Every day gets better for Democrats," the stunt is taking a real toll on Americans. Closing the government may be a game for Washington politicians, but it's not fun for the folks in Iowa who work hard and expect Congress to do the same. A social service provider in Sioux City is facing challenges providing shelter for the homeless because the Social Security Administration is closed. The wife of a civilian employee at the Rock Island Arsenal worries that if he doesn't get paid, the family may have to dip into their daughter's college funds to make ends meet. Another frustrated constituent in Council Bluffs says, "We have families here living paycheck to paycheck. They cannot afford food, much less health care." An employee of the Farm Service Agency in Taylor County, which is a neighboring county to my county, Montgomery, in rural southwest Iowa, says the shutdown is putting a strain on beginning farmers, as well as the elderly producers in her community.
Day 23 of the shutdown. One of the longest ever. Senator Ernst didn't mince words. This isn't a political game. It's real pain for real people. From Iowa to D.C., families are struggling. Ernst made it clear, the shutdown is hurting families, farmers, and federal workers, while Washington treats it like sport. Ernst painted a grim picture of life under the shutdown. In Iowa, the Farm Service Agency is shuttered, leaving farmers in limbo, especially young and elderly producers who rely on federal support. SNAP benefits are running out, and WIC support for mothers and babies is drying up. Soon, half of U.S. states may not be able to feed children who rely on federal food programs. Even military families are struggling, with some service members forced to drop out of college. These aren't just numbers. These are real families being pushed to the brink.
And the closure of USDA service centers is financially impacting farmers, which will have ripple effects on everyone for months to come. Thousands of families in Iowa are already facing the real possibility of not being able to put food on the table. Recipients of SNAP will not receive benefits next month, and WIC, Women, Infants, and Children's support for mothers and babies, will also run out very soon. And Iowans aren't alone in this. If Democrats do not allow the government to reopen, half of our states will run out of money to provide SNAP benefits in November. That means millions of children across the country will have food taken away from them by the Schumer shutdown. This is a particularly cruel way to make a political point, especially at Thanksgiving time.
Senator Ernst didn't hold back, accusing Democratic leaders of, quote, "Chine storer beside the now and bine," taking food out of the mouths of babes and using American suffering as political leverage. She claimed Democrats fear their own party's extremists. One senator even said they're terrified of getting the guillotine. Ernst calls it political theater at its ugliest, with real people left behind.
So most folks here in this body really understand that there are a lot of families that mean a lot to me. Not only my families in Iowa, but then also all of our military families across the United States. So my daughter and my son-in-law serve on active duty Army. My daughter and I talk just about every day, either by FaceTime or by phone. And the shutdown is really impacting her younger soldiers. So every day, my daughter and I go through those discussions of where will the soldiers find food. Her discussion with me today centered around a talk she had with their military chaplain yesterday. She was typing up a letter so that her soldiers could receive gift cards before Thanksgiving from the chaplain's funds. But unfortunately, the chaplain said, I don't even know that we will have funds so that we can get the gift cards for the families because of the shutdown. One of the military units has actually started its own internal food bank so that soldiers can go to that food bank and get food for their families. Anyone that has served in the military or knows someone that serves in the military understands that already our military men and women, many of them qualify for SNAP, even though they're employed by the military. These are families that are currently serving every single day with the inability to get paid. Now, thankfully, the president was able to scratch together dollars from the Department of Defense to pay them their first check, but this is a long-term problem we're facing now, and the president won't be able to keep doing that. So we have all of our federal employees, our military men and women that are not getting paid. They can't literally put food on the table.
Ernst declared, if Chuck Schumer cancels Thanksgiving for families who can't feed their children, the holiday should be canceled for the Senate too. The message, no holidays, no recess until the shutdown ends. It's about responsibility and leadership.
Democrats should listen to their colleague, Senator Fetterman of Pennsylvania. Senator Fetterman called the shutdown, quote, bad political theater, adding, quote, there are no winners here. It's not getting better every day here. People are going to start to get really hungry, end quote. He's absolutely right, folks. And the Democrats know it's causing pain. In fact, that's the whole point of this exercise. Congresswoman Catherine Clark, the second in line in the House Democratic leadership, said the quiet part out loud, stating, quote, families are going to suffer because of the shutdown. She calls that suffering, quote, leverage. Leverage. The American people and their suffering babies are leverage. Using the suffering of the very people we were elected to serve as political leverage is just plain sick. Mr. President, perhaps Republicans need to start using our own leverage, the Senate schedule. If Chuck Schumer cancels Thanksgiving for millions of families across America who can't feed their children, the holiday should be canceled for the Senate as well. We should all be prepared to stay here until we reopen the government so no child will go to bed hungry because of Schumer's shutdown shenanigans. This is a serious job, folks. We need to take it seriously, we need to act seriously, and we need to ensure the shutdown ends. And with that, Mr. President, I yield the floor.
At the heart of this fiery floor speech is a bigger question. When did government shutdowns become normal? While both parties trade blame, millions face uncertainty and financial chaos. Ernst's dare, let lawmakers feel the same pressure as the people they represent. Should senators go home for Thanksgiving while Americans face a government shutdown? Tell us what you think in the comments below. Subscribe to Hot News Today for more unfiltered political updates.